grueling victory against Houston on Tuesday night. How do you feel like the stamina, the endurance of the team is right now?
I think I don't know how to answer that, to be honest with you, but we played 3 games in 6 days and had some difficulty traveling. But I thought Houston was great. Their energy was great. Kelvin's done a tremendous job with them. And, the crowd and our kids kind of willed themselves to get through. I've never been in a game where, after the second, timeout, we hadn't gotten a defensive rebound yet. But we found a way to win. And I think our fans, the character of our kids had a lot to do with that. So we don't talk about making excuses or anything like that. We're just trying to get better.
When you have, the challenges that you've talked about, for some time now, how long does that adrenaline keep going? Can it go all the way to the end of the season?
Whatever happened in the past happened. I might say some things about it because I'm so proud of our kids and what they've handled, but they've moved on a long time ago. We can't look back and change anything. The only thing we can do is try to get better today so we're prepared for our next game. That's generally the way we're approaching. And I think the biggest thing is they care about the 3 seniors, which I think we've been pretty fortunate since I got here. I've said it numerous times. Matt's left me with some really quality guys. So we've had great seniors the last 3 years in particular. And it seems like to me everybody in that locker room wants to see them go out the right way.
Larry, it seems like the SMU story this season is picking up national interest more and more. Are you hearing from old players, friends, more often through emails, text messages, phone calls, anything like that about the success you guys are having?
I mean, I hear from the same people. Like the 9 games I missed, as watching us play, my feeling was, I was proud of what Tim did and the staff and how the kids played, but I was more excited about hearing what the people were saying that were watching our games, the commentators. And nothing's changed. Everybody brags about how hard they play, how unselfishly they play, how much they care about each other, and that's generally the response I got.
After the game the other night, we asked Coach Sampson about his impression of what you're doing with such a short bench, and he said at this time of year, less is more, that 7's probably a really good number. Would you agree with that, or was he simply being gracious after a tough loss?
I don't know. I'm pretty fortunate with the team we have. I feel great about that. I think a lot of coaches, especially the kids today, are worried about pleasing everybody and who gets in, who doesn't get in. So when you have 7, everybody's going to play. And I hate saying 7 because we have more than that, with our walk-ons. But for me, I don't like playing guys a lot of minutes. And as the season wears on, I'd like it even less. I like you keep players to be ready to play at the end of games when it's winning time. But it is what it is. I watched LaSalle play the other night against Temple. 4 of their guys played 40 minutes. 1 guy played 34. But the thing that, I'm concerned with, when you shorten a clock like we have to 30 seconds and then the emphasis on, less physicality, you got to be perfect when you only have 7. And that's, but hey, this is what we have. I'm proud of our guys, and nothing's going to change that.
Going back to Philadelphia tomorrow to face Temple, is there something special about going back to that city for you?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I lived there, and when I coached, and then I stayed there for quite a while. People love the teams that I happen to be fortunate enough to coach. They're passionate about the basketball. I don't like playing against Fran. He's a friend. I admire him a lot. But that being said, I'm thrilled for Marcus. Marcus gets to go home. Last year we had an amazing group of fans because it seemed like Marcus's whole family and everybody he knew in town was there. So I'm happy about that.
Is there any challenge facing a team that you beat 3 times last season? Does that make it more difficult to, know how they're going to adjust to your game plan?
Well, it's a better alternative than the other one. But, anytime you play Temple, it's a challenge because, they beat Cincinnati at Cincinnati. You know what a great team I think they are. They've beaten you kind of, up there 2 years in a row. They beat us 2 years ago at Temple when they didn't have a Temple-type team. And we were fortunate, to win every one of the games we played. They were right there, so. But it's conference, if you're good, you're gonna play some of your teams in the conference 3 times, and I hope to win them all, but that, you gotta be realistic. They're good, and we gotta play our best.
Larry, are you familiar with the White House petition for the NCAA to lift the postseason ban on SMU?
No, and not really, but hey, we did something wrong. We've tried to move on from that. And I've said it over and over again. Once the penalties were handed out, we've tried to move forward. And I think that's the only thing we're going to focus on.
Time for 1 or 2 more.
What's Marcus like as he gets ready to go home? Does he have nerves? Is it a more emotional week for him? And what kind of group does he expect to have this time in the crowd?
Well, they got bad weather coming in, so I hope we have everybody that he knows in that city sitting behind the bench because they were loud and supportive. I'm sure he's nervous, but I'm sure he's excited. They recruited him. He has a lot of friends on that team. And I imagine any time you go home to play, when you only get to do it once a year, it's got to be pretty exciting.
He must have some family. You were talking about earlier that his mother was getting on you about making sure he has enough time for schoolwork when he was dealing with his ankle and
Oh, I
everything
hear
like
from
that.
Barbara all the time. And it's fun. She wants to see him graduate like we all do. And she has the priorities in the right order. So I'm hopeful that he will graduate, and I'm hopeful that, now that he's getting healthy, that he'll play at the level that, I know he's capable of playing, and then someday, hopefully, he's playing for money, where he can help his family.
Anything else?
All right.